What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel once again. So in a previous video, I tested out the TwoTrees TR2 10-watt laser engraver, and they sent me the rotary module along to go with it. So we're going to open this up. We're going to see what's inside. We're going to test this out. They also sent me some sample materials. Now, I wanted to get this done by Christmas since these are some ornaments, but I didn't get a chance to, so that's okay. We're going to do this now anyways, along with some rings to engrave and a coffee mug, and maybe we'll try some other pieces as well. But let's get this opened up, let's see what's inside, and let's see how this works. So here you can see all the components that it comes with, but I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to go through this manual and get this assembled for the most part and get the main pieces put together, and then we'll come back right after that. Alright, so I got this all hooked up, and I will be using the chuck first and not the rollers. Now this was fairly easy to put together. All I had to do was mount the chuck on, screw on the little bolt to tighten it. I put the rail on with the suction with two little screws here. This I can move back and forth just by loosening these two screws. And I just plugged it in with the cord that was already on the Y-axis. I just had to use an extension cord or a piece that they supplied with it just to make it longer. Otherwise this wouldn't go very far, and I only had about 5 inches. So fairly easy to set up. So I'll use this chuck first. Let's try something out and let's see how this works. So for this first test, I'll just try just a little piece of wood dowel that I had laying around. So I'll get this mounted in, and we'll see if we can engrave something onto this. So all I have to do, put it inside the chuck, and then just tighten this. I don't really need this super tight because this is lightweight, so it's not going anywhere. And that's pretty much it. So over here in Lightburn, I just picked this little image of Toad from Super Mario Brothers. And I have this all set up. I will be running the speed at 4,000 millimeters per minute and just at 20% power. The overscanning, I just have it left at 1.5. I'm not really too concerned about all the right settings right now. I just want to see how this rotary tool works. So I do have this set to the job origin of the middle. Now I could adjust it and move it to the top left or whatnot, but I'll just leave it in the center. Now I will need to rotate this, and this is only going to be just under 20 millimeters wide. So with that being said, I'll get this moved over, I'll get this aligned, and then we'll start this and see how this works. So I have this all aligned, I got this all framed up. So I'll go ahead and hit start. Let's see how this works. So that has finished. I will just power down this machine just so we're not hearing that. And I'll just push this out of the way. Let's just take a look. And I think it worked perfectly. So I'll try again on one of their little ornament balls and see how that works. So in order to engrave one of these little cylindrical balls, I will need to attach these little feet just so that I'll be able to have a better grip on this. And now when I place the ball in here, I can set this in. And that looks like it'll be fine just like that. So in order to engrave this, I do need to raise the height of this machine with the supplied feet that they gave. So now that I got this all framed up again, I think that looks like it'll be just fine. I'll go ahead and I'll click start. All right, so I totally screwed that up, and I know why. And I'm sure some of you are probably thinking in your head, oh, okay, well, what happened? But what I failed to do was I did not adjust in Lightburn the dimensions of this. So I had it still left that it was only 32 millimeters, which is why it totally stretched out the entire channel name, and now it's just absolutely ridiculous. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. I'm gonna swap that, and let's run that one more time. So back over in Lightburn, if you need to adjust your rotary settings, you can go up into Laser Tools, go to Rotary Setup, and under Chuck, under Object Diameter, I need to set this to 78, which is the diameter of the ornament. So the millimeters per rotation, this is 360. Same with for the roller, that is fine. So now I can click OK, and now I should be ready to go. And this did actually end up coming out backwards, so I can just put this in mirror mode. Mirror output, and just click OK. So I can already tell that that looks much better. Let me get this taken out and let's take a look. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. So yeah, if you need to adjust some settings, just go into the rotary setup and adjust your diameter. That'll get you spot on. So I'll go ahead and I'll run a few more tests. We'll try out one of these little rings that they gave me, which I'll just need to swap out the chuck using these. And I'll probably try out this coffee mug as well. Now I'm not going to go into all the settings and everything I use, but I will show them on screen on what I actually used for these. So I'll run these tests, I'll show these, and we'll be back right after that. All right, so I just finished trying out the tumbler, which you can see right here. I think that worked great. I think I could have adjusted some of the settings just to make this a little bit brighter. I did kind of try it out here with a little Toad from Super Mario, along with my channel name down at the bottom, and I'll just need to adjust some settings just to make it come out a little bit better. But overall, it worked great. And then you saw the ring. And again, I didn't get this completely centered, but I like how that came out. I think that came out perfectly. It's nice and dark. See if I can get it any closer. But yeah, I think that worked perfectly. So what do I think about this rotary attachment? I think it works really well. I think all the little tools work perfectly, whether you're doing rings or you're using the chuck to attach a tumbler or something like that, or you're using the roller if you want to do it this way. I think it all works great. I think it's really nice to have these two little handy little knobs, I guess you want to call them, just to tighten the chuck when you need to, so you're not sitting there trying to do it like this by hand. I think these work really well. It did come with some extra feet if you need to raise or lower your machine. Now, even if you don't have the TS2, this will work on plenty of other machines, not just this one, which in fact they do supply extra cords in case you're not using one of their machines. So if you have a different one, if you have an Ortour or Creality or one of those other ones, you can use this still with them, with their attachments. It does come with all the little chuck attachments that you're going to need, along with all the screws. Now I kind of keep this put together for the most part, just so I don't lose some of the screws and misplace them, because then I'll have to hunt down more. So I always keep them in the bags when I'm not using them, or keep them attached to the machine. I think the only thing that I dislike about this is this piece right here, and I'll show you why. Now, if you're doing something, let's say a tumbler, and you want to have this hooked up, you can see that if you have this on where the wheels are, it doesn't really, it catches this rail right here. So if this stuck out like an extra inch or two, that would be much better, because I can't really set this on here. So whatever you have has to be fairly small. For instance, the wood, which fits perfectly, but anything bigger, you're gonna hit that side, and that's not really what you want. So I think this could be just pushed out a little bit more just to give you a little bit more room, but it works if you're doing something smaller. So if you missed my review of this machine, of the TS2, I will put a link. Maybe I'll stick it right up there to where you can check it out. I will also put a link down to this rotary attachment down below in the description to where you can pick this up. But that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. Ring the bell, get notified of all the new videos that come out. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.